Hey guys, I am Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Star Wars Black Series San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Starkiller base centerpiece with Rey and Kylo Ren. That is right, my friends. We have got an early look at this upcoming 2018 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so let's dive right in and check it out. As you can see, it comes in a massive window box, fully showcasing the large centerpiece within, and it's a very cool package, just as you would expect from San Diego Comic-Con. It still has the Black Series kind of theming, but inside the window box you have this beautiful scene with Rey facing off against Kylo Ren from the end of The Force Awakens. It's a very cool snowy scene, and there's even a neat little effect with the box. There's a button on the side of the box that you can press, and by pressing this button, it illuminates the backdrop a glowing blue, which really makes the overall presentation of the box look very cool. Now, the neat thing about that little backdrop, you can actually take it out. It is part of the overall centerpiece. So let's go ahead and just remove everything from the packaging and get a look at it outside of the box. And we're going to start things off with the included Kylo Ren action figure. Now, Kylo Ren is the only straight-up action figure in this set. The Rey that we're going to look at in just a bit is part of the centerpiece, so she's more of a little statue, but Kylo here is an exclusive figure that you can only get with this particular set. And of course, the thing that makes him stand out is the battle damage. You can see he's got a real nasty scar that runs from his forehead all the way down onto his neck. It's like this big open wound. It's really disgusting. He's also got a wound there on his shoulder, and of course, his outfit is all torn open from that slash. And you can see, just like with the standard Kylo Ren figures that we've taken a look at here in the past, it's a mixture of like a cloth material over the plastic. And it's really neat because you can see over here, they've got like the cloth ripped. There's some holes there, but also underneath that is sculpted wounds, so you can see the little pokes right there that went through his cloth outfit and stabbed him. I think that's pretty cool looking. So we've got to talk about the face sculpt because, you know, with the Star Wars figures, they've started using that real scan technology at Hasbro. So the face sculpt looks really great. It has a great likeness to actor Adam Driver, complete with that battle damage on there. But it does look really nice. It's definitely leaps and bounds better than the first Kylo Ren figures that we've gotten in the past, because now we've got that great real scan technology. So the rest of the figure here is articulated as you would expect. So it does have the nice ball joints there at the neck. You can see the ball-like joints at the shoulder, so the arms can go forwards, backwards, outwards, swivel at the elbow. You got the bends at the elbow there. The articulation's real tight on this guy too. So you got the swivels at the wrist, you got the hinge joints on the wrist. Looks like we can rotate all the way around at the torso. Nice ball joint there. Of course, not hindered at all because of the cloth. You can see he does have the hinge-like joints at the thighs, slightly hindered by the plastic skirt piece that he has there. But you can move the legs forwards and backwards. You can also swivel at the thighs. You do have double joints at the knees, which are really tight on this figure. And then, of course, you can swivel at the ankle as well as pivot the ankle up and down and side to side. So you should still get some good articulation out of him, which will make him good for posing on the display base for facing off against Rey, if that's the way you want to display him. But it's worth noting that if you just want him as a standard action figure, this guy is that. So you can use that in your collection as well. And, of course, he wouldn't be complete without his signature lightsaber, which looks very similar to what we've seen in the past, but he can hold that nicely there right in his hand. So that is our Kylo Ren. So this is our Rey. You can see that she is more of a statue piece. So she's attached to this little part that's going to connect to the overall centerpiece base. So if we want to get measurements here, you can see from the bottom to the top of her head, it's right at 6 inches. The lightsaber actually stands almost 9 inches tall. So she is right in scale with the Black Series figures, as she should be. And overall, it's really nice. It's a very dynamic pose. You can see her kind of lunging forward with her lightsaber drawn back there. Looks really nice. The face sculpt is pretty good on here. Now, I don't know if this is actually the real scan. It might be. It looks pretty good. I really like that, though. I think it looks really nice. She's got a very intense look on her face, you know, kind of like with her teeth gritting a little bit there, lunging forward to strike another blow at Kylo Ren there on Starkiller base. So this is non-removable. It is attached to that overall base. You can see it's got a little socket on the bottom that's going to plug into the centerpiece once we get that put together. So why don't we go and start looking at the included base pieces. Let's start here. This is that backdrop. This is what was behind the figures in the box. I was really impressed to find out that this is a piece that you can actually remove. It's very heavy. It's plastic. There's the button on the end that lights up the lights that was sticking off the side of the box. And then this is a nice plastic or plexiglass here. And there's a really cool kind of frosted theme that makes it look like a scene of trees in the background. So this will set up nicely behind your diorama or behind your figures. And by pressing the button, it illuminates it a nice glowing blue. Now under my studio lights here, it's a little hard to see it, so I'll make sure I get some darker shots so you can see how it looks all lit up, but it definitely makes for a very cool added piece for the overall display. It takes 3 AA batteries, and this comes with them, so that's pretty cool. Out of the box, this works and is ready to go. Okay, so the base piece for the centerpiece is actually in 3 little pieces that you just have to kind of put together. But the main piece right here is the heavy one, and this has actually got some really cool lights, and it's got a neat little misting feature that creates what's supposed to be like steam coming off of this pool of lava right here as Starkiller base is starting to crack and fall apart. This will require some AA batteries, which are not included, so you'll need to put 4 AA batteries in the bottom. Also on the bottom is this little storage space for pegs. So these little pegs are going to be good for plugging into the feet for your Kylo Ren. If you look at the top of the base here, you'll notice that we've got all these little footprints in the snow. That's really, really cool. And you can actually plug Kylo Ren into any of those places right there. So that way you can match them up with your Rey. You'll also notice up here at the top, we've got this little opening. That is for water for the misting effect. So you're going to want to put a little bit of water in there just to fill up to the line. You can just remove this little stopper right here. You can fill in that little hole right there with water. It might be best to use like an eyedropper or something like that, but that's going to be for the overall misting effect, which is really cool. Okay, so you can easily connect these rest of the base pieces just like this. Like the side piece just kind of clips right onto the side here. And then the little tree kind of rests right alongside these rocks. You just plug it right in there. There's like the rock, and that little stub right there works as a peg, and that locks the entire base together. And then we can bring Rey over here, and she's going to cover up this section with the little water entry point and just plugs right onto the top just like this. Actually, it might be best to put your tree stump on after that. There you go. And that just locks it all in place. And now we've got this base with Rey standing up there on the top. So the last thing we want to do, of course, is bring Kylo over and find the right place that you want to stand him. You can use these little foot pegs wherever you want. You can see I've plugged one into this little foot base right here. And if you want, you can just plug it into the bottom of his feet too. Then we can just match the foot up, on the footprints there, plugging into the little pegs, whatever works best. Articulate the figure, make it look like he's kind of standing off with Rey there. There we go. So we just got a little setup there, just, quick and dirty. You could probably pose that, make it look a lot better. But, we've got Kylo on the base. We've got Rey kind of lunging forward. We can bring in that little backdrop. We can put it behind the figures just like this to kind of create this overall very cool scene. And then, of course, you're going to want to do all of the neat little effects. So there's a small button. It looks like a little rock. And by pressing that button once, it illuminates the lava flow that's right between Rey and Kylo, and little puffs of mist come out, which are supposed to look like the steam from the lava and melting the snow. Pressing that button once will give you 12 seconds of this. A long press gives you a little bit longer amount of that. And then if you do a long press until the lights pulsate, it will be continuous until you turn it off by pressing the button again or the batteries die. Matching that up with that illuminating background is very cool. Makes for a really neat scene. The mist works great. I love the pulsating lava. I think it looks really cool. Overall, it's a very neat package. I gotta say, if I'm gonna nitpick one little thing here, I wish there was a way the lightsabers could light up. I understand this is a lightsaber in a figure, and that would require a lot more electronics, but man, if the lightsabers were glowing in the darker lit areas with the lava and that steam happening and the backdrop, that would make it look extra cool. But as it is, this is a pretty neat little centerpiece. I think it'll make for a great display on your shelf if you want to recreate that scene from The Force Awakens, or, if you just want to display them as individual pieces in your collection, that works too. Overall, it's a very, very neat little set, great package, and definitely one of those things that makes for a nice San Diego exclusive. So I do have to give a very special thanks to the folks at Hasbro who sent this along for the sole purpose of unboxing it so we can get a good look at it outside of the packaging. As mentioned, this will be a San Diego Comic-Con 2018 exclusive, but should also be made available sometime after the show on HasbroToyShop.com in limited quantities. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, my friends.